My name is Julianne. I'm a Deputy District Attorney with the County of Santa Clara. I've been in the office for the past 20 years, and my current assignment is handling truancy cases, as well as being a community prosecutor, which is the person who can come out and be available to answer questions of any type that you might have. But how our office gets involved in the dependency of juvenile welfare cases is when a person or an entity contacts the police department and a police report is made alleging that a person or child is being mistreated in some way. Once that police report is taken, then the report gets forwarded to the District Attorney's office, and we have a specialized unit, the Family Violence Division, that will review the contents of the police report to determine whether or not they believe two things. One is that a crime has been committed, so the actions that are alleged would meet the criteria in the California Penal Code. And the second question is whether or not the person who's named in the report as a defendant is the person who did the crime, the alleged crime. When we look at our police reports, they come to us with a cover sheet from the police agency. They also come with all the pages of the report that we are provided with. We always have to make sure later on that we get all the police report pages. But we also get a copy of the person's criminal history if they have one. When I learned to issue cases back when I joined the office 20 years ago, I was taught that you review the contents of the police report first to determine whether or not you believe a crime has been committed. Don't look at the history, because there's no reason to look at the history. It saves time, but also more importantly, you don't want to have a review someone's criminal history and then think, well, they've done this and this and this in the past, so maybe they did this too. So it makes it, sometimes we have to review reports multiple times. If it turns out that the report has to go to a different unit, we waste that little bit of time having someone else have to review the report, but it's better to look at the report clean. The next thing that would happen is when the Family Violence Division attorneys review the police reports, they look at the conduct that's alleged or that's contained in the report to determine whether it meets elements of the crime. And so in the cases of the child abuse cases, they're looking to see whether or not there's been cruel or inhumane conduct by a person, and whether or not this results in a traumatic injury. The child abuse is in Penal Code Section 273D, and that can be charged as either a felony or a misdemeanor, depending on the type of conduct. Once the crime has been reviewed and the reports have been reviewed and the DA has filed the case, they sign their name and their date and the badge number, it gets typed up. If the defendant is in custody, this has to be done very quickly. If the defendant is out of custody, we have a little bit more leeway in terms of time. And the case, if the person's in custody, then they go to court, and the public defender is usually appointed or the private defense attorney is secured, and the case progresses that way in the criminal court system. If the person is out of custody, then we would request a warrant, and the warrant would be served at a later time. So that's an overview of what our office does in reviewing police reports in these cases. And one of the things that we really hope and want people to understand is that in addition to our duties in prosecuting cases, one of the things that the district attorney, starting with District Attorney Dolores Carr and continued by Mr. Jeff Rosen, who's the elected district attorney, they've really supported this program called the Parent Project. I just want to give a little plug for it if you're not aware of it, but the Parent Project Senior is the one the district attorney's office operates overseas in all of San Jose, in coordination with the support of the city of San Jose. What it is it's a 12-week parenting class that helps parents of kids who are at risk or out of control. And it's taught by police officers. It's $120, but we will turn no one away. So if there's someone you know who has a youth that's at risk, maybe with gang affiliations, maybe drug, alcohol problems, or truancy problems, this program's fantastic. I'm actually missing week 10 of the class that I'm taking with my husband. We have 2 kids, and they're crazy. I don't know if they're out of control, but they're definitely crazy. And it's helped, but I wanted to come tonight to see you. The class, so I'm speaking personally, it's been a fantastic class. There's a Parent Project Junior that's operated by the Santa Clara County Office of Education, and it also works very well. It's not taught by police officers, but that class is taught in our county. There's availability if you go to the Office of Ed